The day begins before the castle is fully awake. Not with urgency, but with quiet intention. You rise from a simple bed within the steward's chamber, a small room tucked into the inner wall of the castle keep. The stone beneath your feet is cool, holding the memory of the night. A narrow window admits the pale grey light of early morning, just enough to see the outlines of the room. A wooden table, a chest for records, a peg where keys hang in careful order. As steward, your role is not one of spectacle. You are not the lord of the castle, nor a knight sworn to battle. Your authority is quieter, steadier. You are entrusted with the smooth functioning of the castle itself, its stores, its schedules, its readiness for the day ahead. You dress simply, pulling on a woolen tunic, fastening a belt that holds a small ledger and a stylus. Before leaving the room, you pause briefly, reviewing the day ahead in your mind. There are inventories to check, servants to organize, gates to inspect, and messages to receive. The castle depends on routine, and routine begins with you. You step into the corridor, where torchlight still flickers faintly. The air smells of stone and ash. Your footsteps are soft, practiced, blending into the quiet hum of a place that never truly sleeps, yet never rushes. Descending the spiral stair, you pass the guard changing from night watch to morning duty. A nod is exchanged. No words are needed. They know you, and you know them. Familiarity is one of the castle's greatest strengths. At the base of the stair, the inner courtyard comes into view. The sky above is slowly brightening, washing the stone walls with cool blue light. A few servants are already moving about, sweeping debris from the night, carrying baskets toward the kitchens. Your first task is always the same. You cross the courtyard toward the gatehouse, where the great wooden doors remain closed. The gate captain stands nearby, finishing his report of the night. He speaks calmly, listing small details. A fox seen near the outer wall, a traveler turned away at dusk, the weather holding steady. You listen, then record only what matters. Order is maintained not by remembering everything, but by noting what is important. With a practiced motion, you retrieve the ring of keys from your belt and unlock the gatehouse door. Inside, the mechanisms of the portcullis are checked. Ropes intact, iron fittings secure. You inspect them carefully, running a hand along the wood and metal, confirming that nothing has shifted overnight. Only once this is done, do you give the signal for the gates to be opened. The doors swing outward slowly, hinges creaking in a familiar way. Morning air flows in, carrying the scent of damp earth and distant fields. The day officially begins. From there, your path leads toward the storerooms. The castle's wealth is not measured in gold alone. Grain, salt, dried meats, wool, lamp oil. These are the things that keep life within the walls steady. You unlock the first storehouse and step inside, greeted by the dim light filtering through high-set windows. A clerk awaits you, holding a slate and chalk. Together, you walk the rows of shelves and barrels, noting quantities and condition. You do not rush. A cracked lid or damp sack, if missed, becomes a problem weeks later. You speak quietly as you work, confirming numbers, making small adjustments to previous records. The clerk listens closely, grateful for clarity. Your calm sets the tone. When the steward is steady, everyone else feels it. Once finished, you seal the storehouse and move on to the kitchens. Here, the air is warmer, already alive with the scent of bread beginning to bake. The cook greets you with a respectful incline of the head. You ask about the day's meals, ensuring portions align with current stores and planned guests. A small change is made, a substitution to preserve supplies until the next delivery. These decisions are invisible to most, but they matter. Leaving the kitchens, you walk along the inner wall, checking the small doors and stairwells that connect different levels of the castle. You ensure they are unlocked where needed, secured where not. You make note of a loose latch to be repaired later. The sun has risen higher now, casting long beams of light across the courtyard. The castle feels awake, but calm. There is no rush, no alarm, just a steady unfolding of the day. You stop briefly near the well, watching as water is drawn and carried away. You take a moment to sip from your own cup, the water cool and grounding. Then, with measured steps, you head toward the steward's office, a modest room overlooking the courtyard. Inside, you sit at the wooden desk and unroll a parchment. This is where the castle's rhythm is captured in ink. You record the night's notes, the morning's checks, the plans for the afternoon. Your handwriting is careful, legible, designed for continuity rather than flair. As you write, the sounds of the castle drift in through the window. Voices, footsteps, the distant clatter of work beginning. These sounds are not distracting. They are reassurance. Everything is moving as it should. You pause once more, reviewing what remains to be done later. Meetings with craftsmen, preparation for evening closure, coordination with the guards. For now, the morning is complete. You set the stylus down gently, close the ledger, and allow yourself a quiet breath. The castle stands secure. The day is underway. And your role, steady, unseen, essential, continues. The rhythm holds. By the time the sun reaches its height, the castle has settled into its working rhythm. This is the part of the day where your presence matters most. Not because of urgency, but because small decisions made now shape the calm of the evening later. You rise from the steward's desk, tucking the ledger beneath your arm, and step back into the courtyard. The stones are warm underfoot now, holding the light. Shadows fall shorter along the walls, and the voices of servants carry a little farther than they did in the morning. No one is rushed, but everyone is engaged in their task. You begin with the craftsmen. Near the outer wall, a pair of masons are repairing a section of stonework where frost loosened the mortar months before. You stop at a respectful distance, observing their progress. One explains what has been completed and what remains. You ask about materials, lime, sand, water, confirming they will not draw more than expected from the stores. Your questions are practical, measured. You do not instruct how to do the work. You simply ensure the work fits into the larger balance of the castle's needs. Satisfied, you make a brief note in the ledger. From there, your path takes you along the ramparts. The guards here greet you quietly as you walk, each accustomed to your inspections. You pause at intervals, gazing out beyond the walls toward the fields and road. The land is calm today. No dust clouds, no signals of approaching trouble. You check the condition of the parapets, running a hand along the stone where rainwater sometimes pools. A small crack is noted for later repair. Nothing urgent, just awareness. Descending from the wall, you move toward the receiving yard. A cart has arrived with supplies, bundles of firewood and sacks of grain. You oversee the unloading, confirming quantities and condition. You inspect the seals, ensuring nothing was compromised during transit. The driver waits patiently as you finish. When all is accounted for, you give a nod, and the cart is guided onward. The supplies are carried towards storage, their arrival folded neatly into the castle's ongoing cycle. You do not linger. Instead, you head toward the hall. At midday, the Great Hall serves as both gathering place and quiet center. Long tables are set for a modest meal. Not a feast, just sustenance for those whose work keeps the castle running. You walk the length of the hall slowly, checking arrangements without interfering. The tapestries along the walls hang still, muted colors softened by age. Light filters through tall windows, illuminating dust motes drifting lazily in the air. You take a seat at a small table near the side, where your meal has been placed. bread, cheese, a cup of watered wine. You eat unhurriedly, aware of the gentle sounds around you. Murmured conversation, the scrape of benches, the soft clink of cups. This moment is not indulgence, it is maintenance. A steward who does not pause cannot think clearly later. After the meal, you remain seated briefly, reviewing the afternoon's priorities in your mind. There are records to reconcile, servant schedules to adjust, and a message expected from a nearby holding. When you rise, you carry your empty cup to the sideboard yourself. Small gestures reinforce the culture of the castle, order without excess hierarchy. The steward's office welcomes you back with its familiar quiet. Here, the work shifts from movement to focus. You spread parchments across the desk, aligning them carefully. One by one, you compare inventories, checking that morning counts match deliveries and planned usage. When numbers differ slightly, you trace the reason. A substitution here, a delayed repair there. Nothing is alarming. That is the goal. You sharpen your quill deliberately, taking care not to rush. Ink flows smoothly as you update records, marking changes with precision rather than flourish. Your handwriting is consistent, built for clarity over decoration. Outside the window, the castle continues its steady pulse. Occasionally, a voice rises and falls. Somewhere, a door opens and closes. These sounds form a background you barely notice anymore. A knock comes at the door. You look up and call for entry. A young servant steps inside, holding a folded message. You receive it, thank them, and dismiss them with a nod. Breaking the seal, you read carefully. A neighboring estate confirming a visit later in the week. You make note of it, considering accommodations, meals, and staffing adjustments. The planning begins quietly now, so it does not become disruption later. Once the message is recorded, you store it in the chest beneath the desk, organized among other correspondence. Each document has its place, just as each person does. The afternoon light shifts, growing warmer and slower. You step out once more, this time toward the servants' quarters. Here, you check schedules posted near the doors, adjusting one assignment to ensure the evening watch is adequately supported. A brief word with the head servant confirms understanding. There is no tension in the exchange. Mutual respect has been built over time. From there, you walk toward the small chapel near the inner keep. You do not linger long, but you step inside briefly, letting the cooler air settle around you. The space is quiet, lit by candles that flicker softly against stone. You take a moment to stand, hands folded loosely, not in ceremony but in stillness. Then you leave, closing the door gently behind you. As afternoon drifts toward evening, your pace slows slightly. This is intentional. You return to the courtyard, observing how the light now angles across the stones. Tasks begin to wind down. Tools are set aside. Baskets are emptied. The castle prepares for closure without announcement. You check the well one final time, ensuring the cover is secure. You glance toward the kitchens, where preparations for the evening meal are underway. You speak briefly with the cook again, confirming numbers and timing. Everything aligns. The steward's role is not to dominate the day, but to guide it toward rest. As the sun lowers, you head back to your office, closing the door softly behind you. You take one last look at the ledger, reviewing the day's entries. Nothing is left unresolved. Notes for tomorrow are clear. You extinguish the candle on the desk, leaving the room dim but orderly. Outside, the sounds of the castle grow quieter. The day has been held steady. As the day begins to soften, the castle responds in kind. Light fades along the stone walls, and the energy that carried work through the afternoon settles into something quieter. This is the hour where your responsibilities narrow, becoming more deliberate, more contained. You retrieve the ring of keys once more, feeling their familiar weight in your hand. The evening rounds begin. Your first stop is the outer gate. The road beyond the walls is still visible in the distance, but traffic has slowed. A few travelers pass without stopping, aware that entry will soon close. The gate captain stands ready, reviewing the final moments of daylight. You exchange a brief word, confirming that no arrivals are expected. With a nod, the order is given. The gates are drawn inward slowly, wood meeting stone with a sound that carries gently across the courtyard. The portcullis follows, iron teeth lowering with controlled precision. Once secured, you check the locking mechanisms yourself, ensuring the bars are seated properly. The castle is sealed for the night. From the gatehouse, you move along the inner perimeter, checking smaller access points, postern doors, service entrances, stairwell hatches. Each is tested, locked or marked as intentionally open depending on its purpose. This is careful work, but never hurried. The castle breathes differently at night, and you respect that rhythm. Torches are lit along the walls as you walk, their glow casting warm pools of light that break up the deepening shadows. You pause occasionally to adjust a sconce or replace a torch that burned low during the day. Fire is both comfort and responsibility. You make your way toward the armory next. Inside, the air is cooler, heavy with the scent of oiled metal and leather. Weapons are stored neatly, armor arranged with precision. You do not inventory every item now. That was done earlier, but you confirm that everything rests as it should. You speak briefly with the guard assigned to the space, exchanging quiet assurances before moving on. Next comes the Great Hall. The evening meal has ended, and servants clear tables methodically. You observe without interference, noting the calm efficiency of the process. The hall feels larger now, emptier, its high ceiling catching echoes that fade quickly. You take a moment to walk its length, listening to the sound of your steps against the stone floor. Tapestries stir slightly as air moves through the space. Satisfied, you gesture for the hall doors to be closed once cleaning is complete. From there, you step outside into the courtyard. Dusk has settled fully now, the sky a deepening blue. The first stars appear faintly overhead. You pause, looking upward, letting the moment stretch. Even in a castle of stone and order, the sky reminds you of scale. Your path leads next to the residential wing. Here, you check on the servants' quarters, ensuring that doors are secured and that lanterns are placed safely. You offer a quiet word to one or two individuals finishing their tasks, acknowledging their work with a nod or brief comment. Authority does not need volume. Moving upward, you climb the stairs toward the inner keep. The air grows cooler as you ascend. You check window shutters along the way, closing those that face the prevailing wind. One latch resists slightly. You adjust it until it settles. Small details matter most at night. At the top level, you step onto a covered walkway overlooking the courtyard below. From here, you can see the castle's interior lit in scattered points. Windows glowing softly, torches marking paths. The sounds have diminished further now. A murmur here, a footstep there. You stand still for a moment, simply observing. Then you turn inward once more. The chapel receives one last visit before night deepens. You enter quietly, careful not to disturb the stillness. Candles burn low, their flames steady. You ensure they are safely placed, then extinguish those not needed through the night. The room settles into shadow. Leaving the chapel, you return to the steward's office. Here, you perform the final administrative task of the day. You open the ledger once more, reviewing entries under the soft glow of a single candle. You add a closing note. Gates secured, stores stable, personnel accounted for. The record is complete. You close the book carefully, aligning it with the others stored nearby. The candle is extinguished. Keys are returned to their hook. Before leaving, you glance around the room, not searching for problems, but confirming order. Everything rests where it should. The steward's day draws to a close. Stepping back into the corridor, you walk toward your chamber. Along the way, you pass guards settling into night watch positions. Their posture is relaxed but attentive. You acknowledge them quietly. The castle is no longer active. It is resting. You reach your chamber and pause before entering, listening to the hush that now blankets the stone halls. The work is done. The systems you maintain will carry themselves until morning. You open the door and step inside, closing it gently behind you. Outside, the castle holds. Inside, the night deepens. Night settles fully over the castle, not all at once, but in layers. From within your chamber, you can sense the shift. Sounds that once carried easily now seem absorbed by the thick stone walls. The torchlight outside has grown steadier. Fewer footsteps pass along the corridor, and the air feels cooler, calmer. You set aside your belt and keys, placing them carefully on the table near the door. This simple act marks the end of duty, even though responsibility never fully leaves you. The castle continues without your movement now, held by the systems you put in place. You sit for a moment on the edge of the bed, listening. Somewhere below, a door closes softly. From the far wall, the faint sound of a guard's boots echoes briefly, then fades. The castle does not sleep. It watches quietly. You rise and move to the small window. Outside, the courtyard lies in shadow, its familiar shapes softened by darkness. Torches glow along the walls, their light steady, unhurried. Above, the stars are clearer now, scattered across the sky in patterns you recognize without naming. You stand there, hands resting lightly against the stone sill, breathing evenly. This is the hour where reflection comes naturally, not on grand events or distant concerns, but on the balance of the day just past. You consider how smoothly the routines unfolded, how small adjustments prevented larger disruptions. The steward's satisfaction is subtle, not pride, but calm assurance. You turn away from the window and prepare for rest. A small basin waits near the wall. You pour water from a pitcher, the quiet sound of it breaking the surface echoing softly in the room. You wash your hands, then your face, the coolness grounding after a long day of measured movement and thought. The chamber is modest but intentional. A chest at the foot of the bed holds spare linens and personal items. A simple chair rests near the table, unused now. The candle by the bedside casts a gentle glow, just enough to soften the edges of the room. You sit again, this time more comfortably, and allow your posture to loosen. Outside, the night watch changes. You hear it faintly, a low exchange of voices, brief and controlled. The new watch takes its place. The castle continues its cycle, steady and reliable. You lie back on the bed, pulling the blanket up carefully, adjusting it until it rests just right. The mattress is firm, familiar, supportive. This is not indulgent rest, but earned rest. Your breathing slows naturally. The mind, having spent the day in order and observation, begins to release its hold on detail. Thoughts drift without effort. Images of the courtyard at dawn, the sound of the gates closing, the glow of torches against stone. Nothing presses for attention. The candle burns lower, its flame steady but dimmer now. Shadows deepen along the walls, becoming less defined, more abstract. You do not reach to extinguish the flame immediately. There is no rush. Time feels broader at night. From far beyond the walls, a night bird calls once, then falls silent. The sound is distant, barely interrupting the stillness. Within the castle, all is settled. You shift slightly, finding a position that feels natural, unforced. Your hands rest comfortably. Your shoulders release the last of the day's tension. The steward's work is complete. What remains now is simply presence, the awareness of safety, of shelter, of continuity. The castle stands as it has stood for generations, held together by stone, routine, and quiet care. The candle finally flickers, then dims further. You reach out and extinguish it, plunging the room into darkness softened by moonlight through the window. The world narrows gently, focusing inward. Breath by breath, the body settles. The castle keeps watch, and you rest,